Thank you, Amr. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Respected President of Pakistan, Dr. Arif Alvi, Tabadlab founder, Musharraf Zaidi, respected guests from the tech community, and of course, policymakers. Thank you for inviting me today and to shed light on the Special Technology Zone Authority. I think a bit of a mystery for some, but as now the act was just passed by the Senate 2 days ago. Now you'll see more of it. We were just waiting for the act to be passed. In fact, it's being sent to the President today as he has to make an act of Parliament. So inshallah, we'll give a glimpse of him presentation on Monday as well. But I want to share thoughts about why this has been created and all of the reasons in this report. So I want to also congratulate the team. We read a lot of reports. I've had the opportunity to work for a think tank. This is extremely well researched. The data collection points, the analysis, and of course the recommendations that you're seeing up on the screen. I got a chance to read the report last night. If we can implement even half of those, you will have a tech revolution. And why I say that with confidence is I've had the opportunity to work in 3 large tech zones. One in Silicon Valley, early on in my career, and then one in Toronto, Canada, where IBM, Sun Microsystems took a boom, and the Canadian government intervened and provided legislation in a city called Markham, right outside of, well, on the outskirts of Toronto. And then my last part of my career was spent a lot in Korea, Shenzhen, Shanghai, to see how those interventions in tech zones catapulted the economy. And I'm going to relate this to the President's speech. And why? Because the President's here to realize what knowledge meant. Last week I had the opportunity to attend a leadership summit in which it was a very interesting talk by the President. If you get a chance, it'll be on Nutshell Group's website. The President didn't talk much about leadership. And it was interesting what he spoke about. He talked about biases that we all have. Of course, he understood that from a medical point of perspective. And then he spoke about reversing your decisions when you are presented with new knowledge. And then the last thing he talked about in a summary was ilm, mindset change. And I want to relate the ilm part to knowledge and our economy. So why do we all want to see tech, digitization, connectivity, our lower strata of society getting better lives? This is not going to happen until we become a knowledge-based ecosystem, right? We should understand that clearly no matter what we try. In the last 40 years of our economy, textile booms, textile sector has been given rebates and incentives by the government like galore. We've all studied them. And of course, they haven't really moved past that 16, 17, or $18 billion export mark. I remember 20 years ago, 18 years ago, when I moved back to Pakistan, they were hovering at 12, 13 billion. So jo ye tech ki baat ho rahi hai, aur Ali Khizr, fantastic effort on your report. He repeated the number 23, the age of 23. And we keep hearing from, of course, all the political parties and various government agencies, about 130 million under the age of 35. So where is our economy headed? What is it going to be on our economic mix? And this was alluded to in the report as well, that our exports are not going past $25 billion because there's no addition to the economic mix, right? And here comes STZA. It's exciting. What really is it? So I'll put it in simple terms because I don't have much time to talk, but of course you guys will all get a review. I'll share the slides in details. What the tech zones are actually going to do is that heavy word that we all keep saying about Pakistan. Pakistan does not have an enabling environment, right? Well, how do you create that? There's a huge provincial divide. We have a massive population of probably above 220 million people. We don't have strict unity of command because it's a parliamentary democracy. And how do you get an initiative on technology to move? So the best answer to that, and I think I have to give credit to the current government, because I've been on this since I moved back to Pakistan 18 years ago, that this government, I've been sharing it with all governments, my views, this government took the bold step of passing, understanding this legislation, and saying we have to intervene to allow the tech sector to grow. So, of course, passed by the National Assembly, and as I told you, the Senate. It was a difficult time in the Senate, and the issue wasn't on the content or the scope of what tech zone is doing. It was on tax issue, whether the provinces or not. But Allah ka shukr, it's been passed. What it allows you to do is, ये जो foreign direct investment की बात हो रही है, tech friendly. Of course, we have Irfan here from Telenor. What will allow Telenor to keep investing in Pakistan and grow the base, lower the prices, is that if we allow, even in the area that the new Telenor office is in, you have to give special tax incentives, because FBR is just a beast, and the tech sector is, I think, approached the President of Pakistan, the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister, the FBR Chairman. So now it's a law. Your tax incentives given under the STZA Act is now a law, mashallah. Right? So this is a huge victory for Pakistan, which means that the taxes that will be waived for 10 years, the import duties coming in. Now let me explain why that's so important. Pakistan has not been able to do reverse engineering. We don't import supercomputers, minus some of the special adaras, because a server, a high-end server, remember, does not cost less than $500,000. उस पे जो ड्यूटी होती थी वो आपको 2-3 million का पड़ता था. आप कैसे सीखेंगे? Huawei Shenzhen में कैसे बनी? This is important to learn. They invited Cisco, they invited IBM. ये सारी companies पाकिस्तान से revenue लेके buy लेके गई हैं. But guess what? Exciting, and Musharraf alluded to this. With the country with the Afghan situation right now, probably 2022, a global financial crisis looming, because abhi debt ceiling $30 trillion US की ज़्यादा चली गई है, तो Republicans ने भी तंग कर दे. With that, you have investor interest in Pakistan. So we're a very unique country that way, and it's a very exciting country. So with this, the tax incentives aside, the forex incentives, the venture capitalists, ladies and gentlemen, can now come to Pakistan. नहीं आता था. ये जो रिपोर्ट में भी लिस्ट करी हुई हैं, ये VCs बाहर बैठ के उन बैंक अकाउंट्स में पैसे करें, वो उन अकाउंट से पैसे इन्वेस्ट करें पाकिस्तान में, but they are not keeping that money in Pakistan. Now, how does the STZA help? If you are a venture capitalist firm, you set up office we've already got applications. I'll explain if I get a little bit of time what's happening on that. You can open up your foreign VC fund in the country with special regulations from the state bank so that you can bring in your fund, keep it in dollars, make your profits, and also take it out, right? So that's excellent. Then the soft side of a tech zone, right? And if you envision the word Silicon Valley, or you heard of a city called Shenzhen, closer one to us is Dubai Internet City. The youth that, whether 23 years old or 35 years old, they need a culture of innovation. That's why I alluded to President's talk on ilm. So on a knowledge-based economy, the youth gets attracted to high-end researchers. Tech zone में कौन-कौन आएगा? आपको R&D centers allowed होंगे, आपको universities allowed होंगी, आपको tech companies, of course, the anchor ones, which I talked about, the big ones, they bring the FDI, आपकी local startups allowed होंगी, right? आपकी support services allowed होंगी, everyone within a geographical space that can help the socio-economic growth, plus, in the end, what they really do for a nation is the GDP growth of a nation. So extremely exciting. Inshallah, we're going to try our best. Sadaf referred to women empowerment. SDA is very pleased to share both, that we're the first authority, I think, that has very young directors, and our directors are from the age of 30 to 35, and we have about 1/3, apne 20% ka, hamare, I think 30-35% are females because they're coming into tech. So I'm sorry, I don't have enough time, but I'll share a lot of other things. I want to quote some of the things out of the research paper. Please do read it. It's a fantastic report. I actually stayed up late because of the function today to make some notes on it, but I think we'd all like to hear from the President. Want to thank everyone for attending today, and I think, inshallah, hiccups hoenge, barriers hoenge, bureaucratic red tape bahut hai. I face it every day, but we're not going to give up. We're going to stay laser focused on Pakistan getting on to the technology revolution, inshallah. Thank you very much.